Hey guys, welcome to another mental health video. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future content. Today's video, like I said, it's going to be a mental health video on how borderline personality disorder affects relationships. I'm going to try to keep the video specifically about BPD and less about my own personal experiences, only because people are very sensitive when I bring up personal experiences. So I'm going to try to leave personal experiences out of it, and just focus on the illness itself. I've had a lot of experience dating people with this illness. I've dated probably 5 or 6 women that would fit criteria for borderline personality. So I have a lot of experience with the subject as a boyfriend of someone with borderline. Gonna have some links to my merch in the comment section. I'll try to put one of my T-shirts in the comment section so you can check that out. But let's go ahead and get right into the video, guys. The first one is gonna be a love-hate cycle. You know, if you're in a relationship with someone that has borderline personality, they're gonna fluctuate between idealizing you, honeymoon like phases where everything is great. Literally, you could be having sex 5 times in one day. That's like a honeymoon high, right? And then quickly, time goes by and that can quickly switch to devaluement. They can become triggered super easily, which can access a devaluement cycle or a hate cycle. It can be over the littlest things. They can misinterpret actions as abandonment and then go into a hate cycle as a result of that, a devaluement cycle. People that have borderline personality are extremely impulsive, so they do things very impulsively, like breaking up with their boyfriend for no reason, calling the police for no reason. I've dated several women that, like one time I went checked on a girlfriend, literally called the police on me, and I was just checking on her because I hadn't seen her for a few days. So that's an example of like an impulsive behavior, like just calling the police on your boyfriend. So a love-hate cycle is one of the main symptoms of borderline personality with the romantic partner, as well as people in their family, friends, where they idealize a friend and then devalue them, or they idealize their boyfriend and then devalue their boyfriend, which can lead to them breaking up with a boyfriend, could lead to discard. Um, it's even more of a nightmare if there's co-occurring disorders in there, like antisocial personality disorder. You might as well forget it. You have almost zero chance of the relationship working out if they have antisocial personality, because they're going to be rotten to you a lot of times. They're going to say mean things to you. They're going to say hateful things to you in the relationship, put downs, things like that. So love-hate cycle is the first way that borderline personality affects relationships. The second one is going to be fears of abandonment. Whether it's a man or a woman, they're constantly have a fear of abandonment, that you're going to break up with them, that you're going to leave them, that you're cheating on them, that you're talking to other people. These are all fears of abandonment. Hey, did you give Kathy a ride to the store? Those are all fears of abandonment. They think you're constantly going to run out on them. They think you're constantly cheating on them. They think you're constantly meeting up with other people. These are all fears of abandonment, and you will quickly see that most of your fights with your borderline partner revolve around fears of abandonment. Hey, where were you last night? They're accusing you of cheating. Hey, did you call your ex-girlfriend? They're accusing you of cheating. These are all fears of abandonment, guys. Number three is most of the women I've dated that had borderline have major anxiety issues. This is going to affect the relationship. No matter what you do, what you say, where you go, they're bringing their anxiety with them. They're bringing their anxiety into the relationship. Anxiety can literally ruin a relationship. Like, I dated a borderline in the past. Literally so anxious, couldn't even be at my apartment. Had to constantly be running out of my apartment. Just anxiety. A lot of this was at a time where this person had no vehicle, so they were super anxious. But anxiety ruined our relationship. You can't have a relationship with someone that's super anxious. It's just not going to work out. Number four is impulsive behaviors. Like I said, you're going to run into this a lot with your borderline partners. They're going to call the police on you for literally no reason. They're going to call 911 on you for literally no reason. These are all impulsive behaviors, which is one of the main symptoms of borderline personality. Another way they're impulsive is they'll just end the relationship over nothing. You may do the most subtle behaviors, like you left the house to get some space. They'll break up with you over it. That is impulsive behavior. And that's what you're going to run into when you're dating these borderline individuals, is they're extremely impulsive. They do things without thinking about it. They'll make a decision like break up with you without thinking about it, without thinking of the consequences. They'll just break up with you. That's incredibly impulsive behavior, where they'll just end a relationship for literally almost no reason or very little reason, because they don't think about it. They're just impulsive. They're just impulsive in the moment. Another way that borderline can affect relationships is inappropriate, intense anger. These people are prone to, have incredible mood swings, and, they're the ones that might end up, having the explosive anger, intense anger, screaming at you at the top of their lungs, swearing at you, putting you down, calling you names, telling you rude, cutting things. That's intense, inappropriate anger, guys. My advice to any of the boyfriends out there, any of the girlfriends, is when your partner is flipping out, get your shoes on and go for a ride. That will allow the person with borderline personality to start calming down. Another way borderline personality affects relationship is mood dysregulation. These people's moods are all over the place. One minute they're happy, the next minute they're sad, the next minute they're crying in the shower, the next minute they're yelling at you, the next minute they're having sex with you, they're happy, the next minute they want to go for a ride. Their emotions are all over the place. You really never know what you're going to get. You really never know what you're going to get with these people, because they have mood dysregulation, which means their emotions are going to be all over the place. When you add in co-occurring disorders like antisocial personality disorder, it makes it an absolute nightmare to try to date these people, because they're the ones that are going to be putting you down, calling you names, saying rude, hateful, cutting things that really make you upset. Antisocial personality disorder, in my opinion, is the worst co-occurring disorder, because it can make the person sociopathic, where they don't care about your needs or your need to feel, peace. They want to take your peace away from you. They're going to say things intentionally to upset you, like tell you they're cheating on you when maybe they're not cheating on you, just to get you upset. That's something an antisocial personality person would do. Saying things intentionally to make you angry, making up stories intentionally to make you angry, lying to you, cheating behaviors, behind the scene cheating behaviors. You're going to get that with antisocial personality, because they don't care. They don't care. Like I said, misinterpreting neutral actions as a sign of abandonment. So you may go for a ride just to give your girlfriend space. They're going to take that as an abandonment, and they're going to break up with you, because they want to be proactive to the breakup. They want to break up with you first, so they don't have to feel hurt, so that they can feel in control, that they are the ones that initiated the breakup. Emotional instability. Like I said, their mood swings are all over the place. Constant mood swings, explosive anger, sadness, incredibly, intense sadness. Another way borderline affects relationships is that black and white thinking, splitting. Look up splitting online. It's basically, you're chucking people in all good piles or all bad, not seeing any gray area with the person. When a borderline individual gets mad at you, they see you as all bad. There is no good area. They're not gonna tell people that, hey, you spent $50 to $100 on them this week. You bought them drinks, or you took them for rides, or you took their kids for appointments. They're not going to tell people that. They're just going to, if they're angry with you, they chuck you in an all angry pile. This is the scumbag pile. That's where they chuck their boyfriend when they're angry. The scumbag pile. They're not going to tell everybody that you spent money on them this week, or that you paid for their bills, or you drove their kids around, or you bought their kids things, or you bought them things, or you bought them clothes, or their kids clothes, or their kids' shoes, anything like that. They're not going to tell you that, tell people that. They're just going to tell everybody that you're a scumbag. That's that splitting, guys. They chuck you in an all good pile or all bad pile with no gray area. And then finally, people that have borderline personality, they really couldn't trust if you paid them. So you're in a relationship with this person, they don't trust you at all. They constantly think you're cheating on them. They constantly think you're calling other people. You know, you could be the most loyal boyfriend in the world. You know, like my last relationship, I didn't cheat on the person once. Never once called another girl. Never once met up with any chicks alone. Was 100% loyal. You know, but sometimes it's not enough, guys, because of that trust issue in the borderline. They have major trust issues. So they're not going to trust you. They're going to constantly accuse you of things like running out on them. These are all ways that borderline personality affects a relationship. If you guys have anything to add to this, please leave it in the comments. Remember what I said when your borderline partner is flipping out. My recommendation is get your shoes on and leave the apartment. That way everybody stays safe. Leave the house. That way everybody stays safe. It keeps the situation calm. Borderline people, they like to triangulate other people against them, so against you. So if they're mad at you, they're going to get their family mad at you. They're going to get their brothers, their sisters, their father angry with you. People tend to gang up on you. And in a borderline family, they tend to gang up on you. That's why you need to take space. You need to do the right thing. You know, put safety as a priority. You know, leave the situation. Go to your own apartment. Go to your own house. But most important in the moment, if this person's flipping out on you or if they're doing rude cutting behaviors, get your shoes on and leave the situation. Go home. That's what you want to do. You want to keep the situation safe. If you guys want to check out merch that I personally designed myself, you can type in Faith Rising on Amazon into the Google search bar. You just type in FAITHRIZING, FAITHRIZING, Faith Rising, FAITHRIZING. Type that right in, Faith Rising on Amazon, right into Google to find my Faith Rising Amazon listings. I have pillows, shirts, cups, all at good prices. Like I have a nice butterfly shirt for $16.99. You know, that's before shipping, but I have a lot of good merch, guys. You can find me right on Google, FAITHRIZING. If you like mental health videos like this, guys, you can like, subscribe, and share. Till next time, I don't know if you guys can see my little bump here. I bumped my head on my car today. Hopefully that doesn't end up killing me or something. So I can keep living every day in this fucking shit show we call life, right? But I personally live to help other people. I don't really personally at this time give a damn about my own life. Maybe I'm depressed. I just consider myself living for other people, for my family, for my nephews, my nieces, people I care about, my clients at work. Like I take care of men with intellectual disabilities. That's one reason to stay alive, is take care of my men with disabilities. I suffer from depression myself, guys. I'm not going to lie. I have had times where I've been depressed. I have had times where I've been suicidal. But it's important to use your coping skills, you know, while you're going through that. Call crisis if you have to. Reach out to a family member. Reach out to a friend, because suicide is a permanent solution to temporary problems. None of us really want to die. We just want things to change. At least that's how it's been with me times I've been suicidal. I didn't really want to die. I just wanted my situation to change. I wanted my situation to improve. But as an older guy, I'm 42 years old. I just consider myself living for other people now. Like I have a sister that needs me. I have a nephew that needs me. I just live for other people at this point. I'm an old guy. Like I said, I've already lived my life. So I'm just here for other people at this point. Anyway, guys, hope you have a blessed day. If you guys have anything to add to the video, leave it in the comments section. Till next time, I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.